Hey guys, AllyZieMage here, and one of the things that I've been trying to do more is become more environmentally friendly and conscious about what purchases I'm making and how I'm using products in my daily life, and what substitutions I can make to end up having a small and individual impact on just environmental issues like climate change and things that contribute to that. So today I'm going to go over a list of products that I have converted to essentially to help reduce my impact on carbon emission and just wastefulness in general. They're going to range from things that are pretty easy to do to things that take some more thought and then adapting to using them. So one of the first things I want to talk about is just a reusable plastic water bottle. I am using one from the brand Contigo. I've used Camelbacks before. Honestly, there's probably not much difference in them. My Camelback lasted a long time. I threw it away because I might have gotten drunk at a party and threw up on it. So I decided, hey, I don't want to use this anymore. So then I got Contigo to replace it. And honestly, the time between not wanting to use the Camelback and purchasing this one, I was very sad not to have a reusable water bottle, because at some point the plastic ones, if you try and keep reusing them, the really thin plastic ones, they start smelling weird because, it's normal, you don't wash it usually. These I found really easy to wash. This one also tells you how much you're drinking, so if you're trying to keep track of how much water you drink, that's great. But it comes apart really easy as well. So this part right here can just unscrew very easily. It's top rack dishwasher safe. And the best part about this one, at least, is that it has a locking mechanism right here to prevent this from coming up. So if I turn that on, this won't come up, and it's usually pretty leak proof. I haven't had too many problems. As it's gotten older, this is about 2 years old. So as it's gotten older, it has started leaking a little bit more, but nothing major. It's like a couple of drops per minute to a couple of minutes. So nothing that I'm too worried about, but yeah. That is the probably easiest thing to do. However, if you get that, you might not have a dishwasher. When I went onto Amazon to find something with pipe cleaners like this, to be able to just easily wash the inside right here, because that's really the part that gets dirty because that's where your mouth is going. I was like, if I'm going to go through and do the investment of trying to buy these, I want them to come free and be with something else, which brings me to my second point, which is metal straws. So I got this off of Amazon, which I know isn't the best company to be buying things from. This was before I really had that revelation and realization, but it's Joyaco Life reusable straws. I'm sure you can find their actual website and purchase them. It came in this nice little bag. There's another bag that came with this as well that is in a drawer somewhere right now. But what I liked about them is that they came with two different types of straws. There's a straight one and there's a curved one. So whichever one you want to use for whichever occasion, this one's upside down technically, you got it. The only hassle with using reusable straws is that you have to remember to bring them with you, and you have to make it known that you don't want a straw with your beverage. Some places make this really easy, like Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, I'm pretty sure. They give you your drink without any straw. So it's pretty easy for you to just use your own straw as long as you have it with you. Otherwise, like at restaurants and stuff, it can be difficult because usually if they put a straw on the table, they're not going to reuse it. But like I said, this one came with two of these actually for free. One of them's drying in the dish rack right now because I used it earlier today. So far I've liked these. I have used the straws a couple of times, especially when in the pandemic ordering food for DoorDash, Grubhub, or even for pickup. I'll usually request no straw, and then the beverage or whatever will come and I'll just use these instead. Another one that's just kind of trying to remember to bring it is reusable produce bags. I actually found these from Taylor R. They came in a 3-pack of different sizes. So there's the red, the green, and then the blue in ascending order of size. I usually use this for things like garlic or anything small. So if I'm buying just 1 or 2 onions. And then these for bigger things like artichokes, squash, cabbage. They're a mesh material, so they don't trap in moisture like conventional grocery bags do, the plastic ones. They trap in moisture and then your produce actually goes bad faster. So that's one of the good things about these. They can be put into the laundry machine. And it's really nifty. They have a pretty good drawstring, but it's one of those that you kind of have to remember to bring with you. So we have these in a drawer in the kitchen on the way out. And then something else we were doing before the pandemic hit was just putting these in our reusable bags, which is another thing that you have to remember to bring. Those I suggest kind of just keeping in your car or putting on the door as you leave so that you have to remember to grab them if you're going to the grocery store. I do want to switch over to compostable plastic bags for cat litter because there's biodegradable cat litter bags that you can use that will even degrade in giant trash yard things. Another thing that we just do regularly that I didn't really want to put into this because it's kind of like a no-brainer is just recycle. Look up the local policies for recycling. Our unit or like our condo has a trash and recycling area that we can just go and put our trash and recycling in. So the two newest things that I got from a website called Earthsider. So I didn't get these from Amazon. I tried to avoid Amazon for these. But one is silicone baggies. So I want to start building a collection of these and getting some more because we've liked them so far. They've been pretty good and sturdy. That these are just kind of a way to reduce your use of Ziploc bag. Earthsider seems pretty okay. If you look them up, you'll see most of the reviews are on not getting products in time. So it did take about a month for these to get delivered. The pricing wasn't bad and they have frequent sales. So if there's anything on their website that you're interested in getting, I would honestly wait until there's a sale. But I really like these. They're pretty watertight. I've noticed that some of them leak a little bit. But honestly, for how easy it is to put a hole in a Ziploc bag, that's not a big deal to me. I recommend these. It came in 3 sizes, so this is the smallest size. There was like a larger one and like close to a gallon one. But yeah, I'm going to get more of these because we need more. And then the last thing, which is probably the hardest thing to use, but probably one of the more impactful things, it's these kind of silicone lids, essentially, that you can stretch over things to seal it as you would with saran wrap. And so far they've worked. Oh, this one has 2 in it. That's why I couldn't stretch it. Okay, see, it's a lot more stretchy if you don't have 2 together. They don't rip easily. Like, I haven't punctured any of them. Silicone's pretty durable. And I've liked them so far. They are very, very leak resistant as long as you use the proper size for the container because they stretch so well. That's not difficult to do. I just wouldn't use one that's too big because that's where the issue is. However, what they have going for them better than like saran wrap or anything is that there is a guaranteed suction. With saran wrap, it's kind of like finagling around, making sure you stretch it just right to get like a nice seal going. This, you just like pop it over the thing, oof, sealed. However, that's the hard part, is just popping it over the thing. So it's been kind of a learning curve and a struggle of learning how to hold the item that you're trying to stretch it over down while also moving it and getting around it. So these ones, I've been considering getting a square set because I have a circular set and we have like square plates and bowls. So that's one of the things I like about it is that, let's say I get a big bowl of soup for lunch and I get halfway through it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot of soup and I just want to save it. I can put one of these over it. It's fine. I can just eat it in a couple of hours and it'll be fine. And these can go in the microwave so I can heat it up without my microwave getting dirty. But because we have some square bowls and plates, that's a little more difficult then. So I've been considering getting a square one, but I'm not entirely sure. But I would recommend them. I know that there's also another thing like what June uses from June's Kitchen that is like a lid. But that's another option. It's just like silicone lids. They wouldn't work for anything that rises above the container, so like you couldn't put them over a plate, whereas these you could, as long as you're okay with your food getting squished. If you're using saran wrap, it's going to get squished anyways. The one thing that I'll say is that this is the smallest size, and it is not big enough for like those small cans of tomato paste. That's the only bad thing, is that they're too big for some small items. These are probably the thing that we're using the least right now, but we also didn't use a ton of saran wrap to begin with, so I'm not surprised by that. But the times that we have used it, it's been really good, and I am happy that I purchased them. I'm just not sure if I'll purchase the square set anytime soon. I'm more interested in getting more of these silicone bags. On Tuesday, I am receiving my first shipment from one of those imperfect or misformed or not the American Ideal produce shipments. So I'm actually testing it from 2 different companies. So actually I'll do a video comparing the 2 companies. First one is Misfit Market, and the second one is Imperfect Foods. So Misfit Market is coming this Tuesday, and then Imperfect Foods is coming the next Tuesday. I did do research to make sure that this is not detracting from the goal it is trying to achieve. So how these produce companies work, which I'll get into more on the actual video on this, is that by giving consumers a discounted price on produce that is deemed not fit for the grocer, it will reduce the amount of food waste. This is somewhat true because they are mostly buying from local farmers or small farmers, not big companies like Dole, though sometimes they do purchase from companies like Dole. And this helps the farmers because instead of having to donate the produce and get nothing for it, they can sell it at like half the rate. So they still get something back, and then the companies will often reimburse the charities that the farmers would usually donate to monetarily, so that they are not missing out on the donations that they would have received. However, where I think that this would be really useful for me for reducing food waste is that I live with just my boyfriend, and we don't always eat the same vegetables even. So if I go to the store and buy a fan of asparagus, it's like a pound of asparagus just for me, and I cannot go through that while having variety in my diet before it goes bad. So what I'm hoping from this is that because I put it down for food for 2 people, and you can put the frequency of how often you want it, that I will reduce my personal food waste by getting smaller portions of produce delivered to me. That's something that I find very lacking in America, is that it's very hard to purchase small quantities of anything. So I can't just go and get like 1 head of romaine lettuce or like 2 radishes. I have to get an entire bundle of radishes if I want radishes, which is why I don't buy them, because I'll get a massive amount. I foresee that through these boxes, I will reduce my personal food waste, which will then in total reduce food waste in general because I won't be throwing stuff away. And I feel like if this is the case for you, that might be something you want to look into. But yeah, so that'll come in a couple of weeks. And those are what I've been doing to currently reduce my impact on climate change and global warming and carbon emission and all that fun stuff. I haven't been driving my car much lately because I have nowhere to go. My school's closed down. All my classes are online. So let me know what other ideas you have or things that you've done in your life to reduce your impact essentially on the globe. I wish I could compost, but I don't have the guts to do indoor composting, and I have 0 yard, so I can't compost. But yeah, I'm open to other ideas and suggestions. I'd love to find other ways to reduce my impact while still like living in a condo. Yeah, hope you have yourself a magical day, and I shall see you next time. Bye.